but we were like young, we were desperate.
How do you manage legal side?
So a lot of like celebrities wanted to work with us at that peak hype moment.
What's the difference to be number one and number two?
There is no difference.
All your dreams come true.
And I was shocked, to be honest. Wow, it's so good.
You was therapist or he was therapist?
He was therapist. They call hardware because it's hard, and it's really, really super hard business.
You have to share it with people.
You need face swap probably 1 or 2 times in your lifetime.
I think these guys need explanation.
I like craft part of that business model much more than the selling part.
Hi guys, my name is Anton Voroniuk and I'm happy to have you in GenAI Revolution Podcast. Today we have a really prominent guest. Do you remember that we have in studio someone whose app was number 1 in App Store in US? No. And today we have Ivan Altsybiev, who with Reface was number 1 over TikTok, Facebook, Google and other apps in App Store in US. Hi Ivan, how are you?
Hi Anton, thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Ivan, tell to us what is Reface. So what's Reface in your life and what is Reface for each customer?
Yeah, so my name is Ivan. I'm co-CEO and co-founder of Reface. Today Reface is an AI app studio. We're building AI apps for like clients all over the world. So for today we have more than 300 million downloads for the last 5 years. Yeah, and it all started with just one super viral app, which was Reface actually. So it was 2020, just in the like middle of COVID. It was quite different time from what we have right now in terms of AI. So at that time, if you want to build AI app, you have to first build a technology to build a like consumer app upon this. So it took us a while to build that technology, and it was like state of the art at that time for face swap technology. So Reface app itself is a like entertainment app, content creation entertainment app, where you can just with one photo face swap your face on different kind of content. It could be images, GIFs, videos, and it actually was quite when you would say if there is no that app in the world and you would pitch it, it could sound quite silly. Okay, let's build an app where you can just swap faces and maybe there will be people who will like it and all the stuff. So it's quite hard to predict that it will find its virality.
That it will find 250 million audience.
But we were like young, we were desperate, we were like believers of the AI technology and consumer apps in general. So we decided why not to try to build that kind of app. It sounds really fun, and it is. So we built that app, and half year after we launched it. So we launched it 2020, beginning of the year. So then just in 1 month, COVID started. And as I like to say is that we appeared at the right timing. Because when people are in COVID,
they want to entertain themselves.
Yeah, they lock down. They don't have their routine ways to entertain themselves, so they are more likely to like spend their time in the smartphones or some digital entertainment. And we all know that a lot of entertainment businesses grow like crazy at that time. And Reface was one of those. So our main advantage was that we made a technology that made it possible to make a really, really realistic face swap, or as people call it, deepfake, using just one photo. So it was not possible before we created that technology. And actually this what enabled this technology to move to consumer, to mobile app, because people in entertainment in mobile app, they don't willing to wait more than few seconds till the result. And the result was so realistic, so fun, that people went like crazy and they wanted to share those results. When you, for example, face swap yourself to some movie or I don't know, whatever, I don't know, like movies you want to, Matrix. Or,
I remember a lot of such videos.
So and you're like, wow, it's so fun. You have like that.
You have to share it with people.
You want to share definitely because you want psychologically you want to feel yourself good, because you will make love your friends. And we, on our like very basic principle of how our social psychology works, why do we share memes? Because we want to make fun for our friends, and that's how we capture some kind of social improvement from our close circle. So that's basically what made Reface really viral, because our results were so good enough, so good and so funny that people wanted to share. So we had like huge viral key factor, as we call it, and so it went viral. So we
what was the most viral video?
How
many views?
To be honest, I don't remember right now. It was like more than 4 years ago, but
in my files, it's like that you have 6 billion pieces of personalized synthetic content. So
it's
a lot. Yeah,
it's a lot. Yeah. So at the top, I remember the peak months. It was something about 17 or 18 million downloads of the app in 1 month, and which was like more than Snapchat or some other big apps are getting. And the funny thing is that we reach our 100 million first installs in faster than Snapchat and some other big company. Still, it's vanity numbers. Like it means nothing about your business model, about the product, the quality of the product, about the sustainability of whatever. But still, like those numbers were crazy, and we had like tons of inbound interest from huge content creators. We had like co-promo with Justin Bieber, Miley Cyrus, Amazon. When the Borat film was coming out, they wanted to have promo with us. I think it was David Beckham, Cristiano Ronaldo. So a lot of like celebrities wanted to work with us at that peak hype moment, because it was super hype. And that was like funny times. And at that moment we raised seed investment rounds from Andreessen Horowitz, one of the top VC firm in US, in worldwide actually. And that's actually the short brief story how it all.
Guys, share in comments what scene did you use to snap your face with Reface. And I have the next question about your background. So from bartender to tech founder, you in 22 years old, you was working in US for work and travel as bartender. You have a lot of other experience. How did those early experience build your personality as founder?
That was like a long way. I love the way of thinking that we all know that those success stories that become like overnight success, but
it doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that, and because no one wants to talk about tens of years what bring you to that night of success. So in my personal background and experience, I started in ads. So I worked in a digital marketing for 1 year. It was hyper growing industry in Ukraine, where I'm originally from. So I was working for one of the biggest agencies at that time called Prodigy. And then I understood that I like craft part of that business model much more than the selling part. What it means that we had a lot of when you do those campaigns for big brands like Microsoft, we work with some huge banks at those times. I think McDonald's and something like that. So I understood that I like the part where you design sites, make those promo sites and all the things related to design and building things. And at that point, I decided to make my own design agency, which had a cool name, Cheese Banana. Don't ask why it's called Cheese Banana, but it was just a random words from Google search. And for 3 or 4 years, I was running that agency, and we transformed from just a design-first agency to digital production. So we started focusing more on building digital products, but for our clients. And after that, I realized that I feel so much even pain when you build something for, let's say, a few months, a half a year, and then you give it to your client and you don't see it anymore. And you feel like a lot of ideas how to improve what you have just built. And all the most interesting things started when you just kick the project off, not by building it. And at that point, I decided there was a recession in Ukraine in 2013, I believe. Yeah, and I decided that I want to move to the product part. And at that point, my partner, one of my clients became my partner, and we started building a automotive hardware startup called Finova. So I joined as a partner, as a head of product for this, and I had no fucking idea what automotive, how hardware works. And I remember I was talking to one of my friends from hardware startups, which is huge one. One of the success stories in Ukraine is PetCube. You probably know. I still remember this phrase from Yaroslav, the CEO. Hardware is hard, never do hardware. Something like that. Hardware. They call hardware because it's hard, and it's really, really super hard business model because you it's really hard, period. So for 3 years I was in that startups, and then it actually went out of cash. We closed it, so it was in the period, different period of time. I also had bar in Kiev. Had some other startups and all that.
Bar is still a hobby.
For sure.
And lifestyle. Yeah,
for sure. There is no business model. It's quite hard to build Horeca. It's definitely really hard. So a lot of things went on my journey before the Reface came, and the funny thing that before Reface, I decided to become a YouTube influencer. So when I met my co-founders, I was just literally editing one of my first videos for YouTube. And I decided, since my mother was the first journalist, gastronomic journalist and restaurant critic in Ukraine, and I felt like I want to move at the same direction because it's family business, all that kind of stuff. So I decided to move to YouTube and create video content about food. I filmed first, I believe, 2 or 3 videos on my YouTube, was learning how to edit. And after my failed startup, I decided I will never ever go building any tech products anymore, because it only sounds romantic, successful, and all stuff. And in real life, it doesn't work like that.
Definitely.
So I decided not to do any startups or whatever. But the life changed my mind. So I met my co-founders while smoking hookah in bar where I was editing. And they said that, hey, we have a technology for face swap. What do you think about it? Do you have any ideas how we can make a product out of this? So there was no app, no naming. So there was just a raw technology, which was not working really good. And something inside me it sounds fun, it's, when sometimes we meet those problems that is really interesting to solve.
Definitely.
You can't stop thinking about how to solve that problem. And the problem about how to build a product on the top of face swap technology was, it sounds like a really nice challenge for me.
What did you know about AI at the moment?
Nothing about AI, nothing about mobile apps, to be sure. The first time the first time I heard word retention was at fundraising, so one of our investors, not who we raised from, but early days,
taught you this lesson.
That's okay, guys, we want to see your cohort retention analysis.
What
cohort? I still remember that I could not figure out why cohorts I built that way, that you have less numbers by the right. How it works. So and there was no ChatGPT at that time, so who can explain you how it works and teach you all that basic principles. But coming back to your question, I know almost nothing about the sphere. And I think this is one of my, strong parts of my personality.
That you can switch very fast and learn very fast.
That it's make me super interesting to move to a new direction and learn fast. And for me, it's much harder. So I'm guy from 0 to 1. than from 1 to 1 million. So I feel much more comfortable, much more curious, building things from scratch and try to innovate than to scale things. This is like big learning about my personality.
Pretty close to me. I'm also from 0 to 1, and it's very good when you have partners that will scale further.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
So that's how it started for me, and
How do you learn about AI right now? It's a question which is definitely actual for our audience. You told that you knew nothing about AI when you started, but right now you're an expert in this field. How do you update your knowledge in this world where every technology is updating just each week, each month?
That's a great question. To be honest, I'm still trying to figure out what is the best way. So the AI world is evolving so fast that it's almost impossible to be at the same pace.
Definitely.
So either you need to spend all of your work time just following new technologies, playing around, and I'm not sure, but for now, my personal source sounds like that. I want to deeply understand the fundamentals, like how it works, why it works, how the model trains, what makes good prompt versus bad prompt. And I'm still super early in that sphere, but I'm trying, if you want to, let's say we talk about some life principles. Sure. And if you want to understand something better about your life, you go to the super early, philosophy or ancient philosophy, and they try to understand the way how things works, and then to go to frameworks and shortcuts, not on the other direction. So from that,
everyone wants shortcuts first.
I understand. This is how our mind works, because you have little attention span. You don't have much time to think about things. And it's natural, it's totally fine. But what I understand is that it saves you much more time if you understand the basic principles. Because let's say a new model, DeepSeek, whatever, appeared, mostly the fundamental principles will keep the same. So if you understand, you don't need so much time to understand the new new forks from the technology, because you understand how the deeply it works.
Yeah, definitely.
And from that part, I would hardly recommend all of your visitors and people to watch Andrei Karpathy YouTube. Andrei Karpathy is one of the founders of OpenAI. And he has a great, amazing talent to talk about fundamentals, hard things in a very, very simple way.
It's great.
He has few videos which are few hours long, but he explains how LLMs works, large language model works. He explains how he use it and make a lot of very simple examples how to use it. So I would hardly recommend to watch those videos. It's really good investments, even though they are pretty long, and it's hard to find time, but it's worth watching. This is one part, so fundamentals, and the second part, I think that
updating.
Keep your I really love two sources, to be honest. The first one is Twitter, definitely. I'm not a big fan of Reddit. Probably I'm too old.
You're also the same old-fashioned guy as me, who is naming it still Twitter.
X, of course, X, and their algorithms getting really they adapt to what you like. And I think if you spend few, let's say, weeks just liking the content about AI and all the stuff, and follow a few guys from that sphere.
TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook will start helping you.
Exactly. So for me, X is working more as sources for what's happening in AI right now, and what's happening in mobile apps, some marketing hacks, growth hacks for mobile apps, and it helps me a lot. And also Telegram channels. There are a lot of them which are curated content about things happening in AI sphere. And the last but not the least, I think it's super important to make how it called to make your hands dirty. So you need not to read about things, you need to try them.
To prompt it.
Yeah, you need to try. And I think if you want to be on the same speed as AI, just understand fundamentals, read news, and then try it on your own. Just 15 minutes working on some new building tools or whatever will bring you much more understanding of where it's going, how it works, and spark the ideas how you can use it in your life much better than a review on YouTube or something like that. So this is what I would recommend for everyone.
What is your personal AI toolkit? No, your box with top 10 tools that you use daily or weekly.
To be honest, quite basic ones. So mostly ChatGPT, and what I understand, because I'm a product guy, I'm trying to...
Okay, ChatGPT use cases. For what do you use ChatGPT?
I would say for everything, yeah.
Okay.
What was maybe interesting use cases? I adopt maybe lately to make a coaching and therapy session with ChatGPT.
Okay.
And I was quite skeptical about that.
You was therapist or he was therapist?
He was therapist. For now, he serves me, but maybe it will be changed in future. So I was skeptical, to be honest. I for me as a person who's for many years in therapy and in try different coaches and all the stuff. So I could hardly imagine how a statistical model which predicts the next talk in next word can help you to do something with your inner psychology world and all this stuff. And then I don't remember why, but there was some moment when it was, I remember it was Sunday. I had no much things happening in that day, so I was quite relaxed mood. And then I had just one idea that I reflection about some topic in my life, and I want now to have to reflect on this, but I don't have my therapist right now or coach right now. I don't have access to that people because we have plans, scheduled. So what if I just make a quick voice note to ChatGPT and ask him to, or she, or it to help me to reflect on this. So how I did it, I just closed my eyes, put the record button, and just start talking as it goes with a flow. No structuring, just a simple flow. How it comes. So it was maybe 5 or 7 minutes long voice. Then I put send it. And asked to help me to reflect, maybe. And I asked to use all the contents that ChatGPT had with me during all of our work-related things, what I search, how I build prompts, all the things. And I was shocked, to be honest. Wow, it's so good. Okay, let's go deeper. So I did a second voice, then third, then fourth. And now it's my regular routine. And I also hardly recommend at least to try and give it a try. What I do right now when I walk with my dog is basically in the morning. We all probably heard about morning minutes, journaling, blah, blah, blah. So it's really psychologically very healthy for you to throw out your thoughts and make your mind more clear. Went out your ideas, whatever. And I use ChatGPT as a voice assistant. So I just, I don't give much too serious, for me it's important just to start recording and saying something, my mind goes in some way, and then I just act as the world's best coach for entrepreneurs, help me to structure my thoughts and ideas and highlight my blind spots in my personality that will help me to improve in my general tasks, goals, wherever, because he know my tasks, he know my goals, because I give a lot of content there. And I was really, really surprised with the way how it does it work and how it helps me, because I feel the difference, so between my sessions with my therapist and my coaches, I do those and my progress get much more faster, and I enjoy it. So this is like one of the key insights for the last maybe few months, how I started using ChatGPT. And
I have prompts for you. You can ask about your future. And usually ChatGPT use all the data that it has, and it starts like some very good magician from the railway station when you are getting
tarot reading.
Tarot reading, when you get all your dreams come true, all your challenges that you told as to therapist will be used against you. So this is done, this is already accepted, etc. No challenges, you have bright future. But maybe it depends on how you talk with it. I'm a pretty optimistic guy, so it gives me optimistic view. If you're more pessimistic, maybe you will give some not so
more realistic.
Some more realistic side. What else? One
more thing to add here. Maybe it would be like useful for the listeners. It's really cool to ask him to be straightforward and not to sugarcoat his thoughts, because ChatGPT tends to make things more universal, not to hurt you, blah, blah, blah. And it doesn't work if you want to get straight to the point. So ask him, be straight to the point. Don't be afraid to hurt my feelings. I want to get like super simple advice or harsh truths about myself or the topic, and it improves the output very much.
I have this as custom instructions on the whole account, so it allows to give a lot of water. I've just asked in custom instructions, and that's what we are teaching in all our courses. That definitely works. ChatGPT definitely okay. What other tools do you have? While one is thinking, don't forget to subscribe and put likes to this video. Let's go.
Subscribe. I think mostly this I use for in internal company, like when we do marketing, we use video generation tools. We use
which ones?
A lot of them. So we try to experiment mostly with all for sure.
Runway, Kling, HeyGen.
All of them, Kling, mostly Kling for video production. Runway, HeyGen, Arcade, AI, VO2 lately. Sora is pretty good.
Sora,
it's amazing. So I'm a big believer that Google will win the game for video generation because they definitely have the best.
VO2 is good.
I think it just will take some time for them to make it super good, but since they're owning the best data, they will
on
do
YouTube,
the best.
They will do it better.
They will make the best model for sure. Yeah. As a product guy and a builder, I also very, very interested in the sphere of building tools. Those are Lovable.
Yeah, definitely. V0
from Vercel, Bolt, Cursor and Windsurf are more for developers. But for those who have just spark an idea and from 0 to 1, and you can just with prompt build a web app that really works and looks good, it's crucial and amazing. And I think I'm a big believer for the way the market will change, will be changed by those tools.
It's already changing.
So there will be much more, there will be huge amount of solo builders, solopreneurs, people who have great ideas and they're used to need a lot of resources, people, capital to go from this way from 0 to 1. But now they just need a $20 subscription and domain to start. And it's it's huge way. It's a huge
how it works earlier, you have 100K per MVP. With this MVP, you will go to pitch investor. Right now, I already seen a lot of vibe coding, or some people call it shit coding, 10K per MVP. With this MVP, you raise money, and after that, you develop something which really works.
And everything, it's huge, big insight for me is that the world is getting so much faster.
Definitely.
So you don't have overnight, you can build a proof of concept for your idea. In 2 days, you can
get traction,
get first customers, validate the idea. In 2 weeks, you can iterate it, get more features. And So everything gets so much fast, and I see the rudiment part of that journey of the ideas, and this is what makes me super interested. And I think my next company will be solving some of those problems. How people talent, ideas, and capital work together. So I don't think that venture capital model really works for nowadays, because it's too slow.
Yeah,
and it focuses only building unicorns. But right now you can build like much easier things that can like be quite good cash generative business. Let's say we together, we put in our like for 2 weeks, I believe that we can build something that can earn us like 10K a month for sure. Like it's not that hard right now, and probably it won't be unicorn, never. It's much higher
but
competition.
But it will generate 10K per month for a few times.
yeah. And it means that this market is getting bigger. And it means there is problems that, but if, let's say I want to build that kind of new product, for me, it's quite hard to get, let's say, co-founder. Where I can find. I won't go for Fiverr. I will post some LinkedIn. So there is a lots of problems for future builders. Like right now we see the evolution of building tools, which will bring a lot of builders, and those builders will have a lot of problems for those builders, and those won't be like venture problems, because those things that they will build, few percent of them, of those products they build,
they will try to be unicorns.
Yeah, they will try to be unicorn, but all the rest, like 80% will die, but 10-20% may become quite good, like medium-sized business. And they don't have like access to capital, they don't have access to talents, so probably this market will change a lot. And I'm a big believer of that movement in the market.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Let's come back to Reface for a second. Number one in App Store, it's a dream for a lot of founders, builders, creators, no matter. What the difference? What the difference to be number one and number two? In feelings, in digits, how it works?
There is no difference.
Yeah.
Between number one. Yeah. Okay. No, there is a difference.
I think these guys need explanation.
When you are number one, you can say that you are number one. Yeah. And being number one is much more valid in terms of vanities than being number two. Okay. That's the main difference. And when we were like raising from Andreessen, just in the middle of our negotiations, we hit number one, and it helps us a lot. So it builds FOMO, it builds credibility.
So social proof.
Social proof, yeah. Social proof is a great word for that. So it's huge. It opened you a lot of doors in terms of media, in terms of investors, in terms of interest from, content creators and all the stuff. So for sure it works, and you can capitalize it in different ways. But after I had huge many times of reflection of our success journey. And I would say that right now it's there is a good word, momentum. And when you build that momentum, it's super important to keep it going, growing, and take as much as possible from that moment. But it doesn't prove, or it doesn't guarantee you the future success. So for us, be super success story, super short time to getting viral, 100 million installs super fast, super cool venture investor from Silicon Valley, where we it
looks like a dream.
Looks like a dream, but 4 years later, I understand that it was not we had a lot of pitfalls after that. And 2 years ago, we switched our company strategy from single app to multi-product strategy. So for now, we are AI app studio builder.
That was my next question.
Yeah. So
let's go deep here.
I will transfer here. So what I learned from that journey is that it's much more important to think about your business model, about how to make your how to make it sustainable, what your users really want. So let's be honest, you don't need to face swap every day.
Every day, unfortunately.
You don't need to face swap every week.
Yeah.
You don't need to face swap every month. You need face swap probably 1 or 2 times in your lifetime.
Yeah.
The question here, and those few times, so there is a big debatable question: is it product market fit? How would you answer?
It's a good question.
It's a good question, and as I tend to think about it, that it was product market fit, but the market, it's not about retentive use case. The market is for one-time fun. So we get a product market fit, and we build amazing app, amazing technology, and get amazing traction, but for one-time use case. Okay, 2 times use case, 3 times use case. And you can build a long-term sustainable business with that kind of use case. And it's not about technology, product, our marketing, wherever. It's just because the basic core use case is not sustainable. And this is like super simple idea, which seems quite obvious for now. When we're talking okay, it's like obvious.
Yeah.
For that time when you're growing so fast, it's not that obvious. So it may dilute some of your product visionary strategic decisions. And I would say we were young, we were desperate, and we decided that we can build a huge social platform with a lot of AI editing tools inside one app. And we want people to create here content, to consume content. So we were building something like AI TikTok inside Reface. And it was too much ambitious for a small team from Ukraine who just got to the top 1 in App Store. And it didn't work out for obvious reasons. And then we learned that building AI apps, new apps, because technology are getting better, and the market changed. And what's changed is that when we started, you need to build first of all, you need to build technology from scratch to build product on it.
Definitely.
Right now, you have a lot of technologies. You have technologies arriving every day. And the world, as I said before, the world changes to the way who is the fastest and the speed of how you see the technology, the raw technology. So I would say I like the metaphor that we're all playing poker, Texas Hold'em. So let's say I have 2 cards in my pocket and I see the flop. So let's say every day new card with a new technology goes to the table and you are trying to find, and you have bankroll, some resources, team, wherever, and you're trying to figure out the best combination of the cards you have, your experience, your resources, your team, time, priorities, whatever, and the technologies that's coming to the table. And then you make a bet. So right now we are trying not to. So the first Reface was we had 1 card. There was nothing on the table. So on this card we put all bankroll and and waited, and it worked out, and we were super happy. But you can't build a long-term sustainable business model on that approach. So right now we are playing more diversified.
You are taking a bunch of apps and you're working
exactly. So right now we are building a lot of apps. So we see new technologies that are coming out. We know how to make them scalable. We know how to experiment with those. We know how to search for audience and for big retentable use cases. Let's say for now we are building in health and fitness vertical. We built in other utility verticals, and we know how to build a more sustainable business model. So how we think about it, we are trying to make a gaming companies approach, like big publishers, but in non-gaming sphere. So we don't build games, we build non-gaming like utilities, entertainment apps, all the stuff, everything built on the top of AI. And we're trying to build it as a portfolio company.
Can you give a few examples of the most popular apps?
For now, last year we launched InkAI. It's a AI tattoo try-on app. So we have for people who had a tattoo, you spend quite a lot of time and effort try to figure out what tattoo do you want. And
how many tattoos do you have?
Only one right now, and it says "Make ideas work." So this is my personal.
You use your own app to prepare the next?
No, I did a tattoo before we had that app, and actually that was one of the insights that I realized that, the use case I wanted to do. You have some idea, and it mostly, not the reference idea, but I want something that will feels like a freedom. It will have some wave, maybe some kind of typography, but I don't know how that font. And you try to find something that you like on Pinterest and take those pictures and those ideas in a raw form to your tattoo artist, and he tries to give you drafts. And this is not. Can you make it a bit better, worse? What if AI do it's pretty good? Yeah, so we decided why not to make an app that will help people to think about tattoos, and most important to try on tattoos. So you can actually to make a photo of your hand and try on those tattoo, make it bigger, smaller. So quite utility use case. And it also went quite well in last summer. So we hit number 1 in category in art graphic design in US as well. Coming back to your previous question, does it mean a lot? I wouldn't say so. So, but still, it's
your sales didn't grow like 10x.
Yeah, it's what we understand that being number 1 in store will bring you organic installs, definitely. It may change your life for a few weeks, but it won't change your life forever. Okay. And if you find growth channels, let's say in TikTok, or in performance marketing, or in influence marketing, those things matter much more than being number 1 in the App Store. Because on your business chart, it will looks like a spark, and then it totally goes down when you get out of this. And having strong positions on some specific searching keywords in App Store means much more, because it's much longer, demand, long tail demand. I would say that if you're young builder and you're trying to figure out how to build distribution, you may want to get to the top of the App Store, but like a North Star, validations that, we did it, we're a great team, but not as a business goal itself. I would say it's a wrong metric to measure your success.
What about other apps?
Yeah. So
how many apps do you have?
I believe for now we have 7 apps. We have dozens of them on our graveyard. So the one is InkAI tattoo app. The second one, I personally worked for the last year as a founder, as a product manager, called BitePal. It is a AI calorie tracker. As I call it, it is something between Duolingo and MyFitnessPal, but for Gen Z. So we put a lot of effort on gamification of nutrition and calorie tracking process. So we made it super easy, super fun, super cute. So you can find a cute raccoon inside the tab that you feed with the photos of your food, and he will give you support, suggestions how to improve your nutrition.
Eat more pizza and so on.
Yeah. Sometimes quite ironic and even aggressive, but we try to be in trend, and we make it super, super successful on TikTok, in paid acquisition in TikTok. So this is quite young app. It's less than 1 year. We already hit our first 1 million installs these days.
Cool. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. One more app is Honestly. It is a AI mental health, mental coach. It's basically what I described before, but in much more friendly user interface, with a lot of suggestions for prompts, with journeys. So it's.
How do you manage legal side? As I remember, in US, therapists they need to be certified.
We do not position it as a therapist.
Okay,
so it's more like companion.
Okay.
Yeah. But the interesting part, before we started the app, one of our biggest risks was that people will be concerned about the privacy of their data, all the things. So we put a lot of effort to make it super clear, communicate where we like store it, how we use it, and all the stuff. Like, people don't give a shit. And we were super surprised that like among all of our like support tickets, people who were concerned about security and privacy issues were not so much. And I like few times I was thinking about, okay, I share so many sensitive data with my ChatGPT. So it's terrifying. Yeah. So if it goes out of
ChatGPT, you will be unhappy.
Yeah. So, but I'm more on the optimistic side, and we as a Reface call ourselves AI optimists. So we believe in the bright future of AI, even though things may go wrong, probably. But still, So I believe that those will improve our life in general and my user experience for sure. So yeah.
The question about the bright future of AI, how do you create the culture of AI first in your company?
Great question. And to be honest, it's hard. Even for us, we were born out of AI. We were in the AI sphere before it became mainstream. Yeah. So we are like, I would love to say that we are AI first company, but to be honest, it's not that.
But you are moving at least at this direction.
Yeah, we are definitely moving fast. So for now, Reface as a company is 110 people, 7 products, around 7 product teams. We have big infrastructure layers and all the stuff. And it's really hard to switch your mindset, to be honest. Even for me, I understand it's not about like we have bad people who don't want to use AI on a daily basis. I understand from my personal insight, like looking from how I use AI, I don't use it like on every task or like most of the tasks because the power of habits are insane. Why we all know that it's good to build habits because it's unconscious. Because you build something that you don't pay attention and then
you just keep doing.
Just keep doing, exactly. So it's like a known fact from like scientists that building something from scratch is much easier than changing the like habits and your
100%.
patterns and all the stuff. So let's say you're engineer, you're like really good senior software engineer, and you used to write code doing the things, and then a lot of copilots, co-builders and all the stuff appeared, and you need to like inject them in your workflow, and it sounds quite obvious. For sure you need to do that, but the reality is quite different. Like not that many people in our company use it on a daily basis, and we put a lot of efforts, and we're trying to figure out and experiment a lot what is the best way. And for example, today our CTO and co-founder Oles, he's like one of the most prominent AI researchers for in like Eastern Europe for sure, maybe in the world. He was giving a huge talk on how he uses AI tools, and I understand that this is probably like with kids. What is the best way to teach kids? To show your example, by your example. And I believe that in our strategy, we as a founders, as like top managers of the company, first of all, we need to be AI first. We need to show from our example how we use AI, how it makes our more efficient, how we save our hours and days. And all. So I think this is the first thing. The second, you need to like give tools, and those should be like, let's say you have a coffee point in your company, and if you put their bananas, people would eat bananas. If you put their Snickers, people will eat Snickers and some candies. So you need to put those tools in front of them, of the people. So we are mostly like say, use whatever you want. We will like refund you those expenses. And I think this is also important part. And it's hard to innovate and improve the culture if you don't give like that gap of time, because let's say you need to make a task, like the task will take 2 days. And if you use AI for the first time, the task won't take you 1 day or even 2 days. Probably it will take you 3 days, and the quality could be lower.
Yeah.
But if that like experimental, I don't know, pod where you try to figure out how things works, how the best way to prompt AI, how to make it get output you really want to have. And so it will take few iterations, few times, and you as a manager, as a leader, need to understand how innovations should be incorporated in your culture. And you can't like make I want you to be super efficient, to spend less time, and if it won't work from the first attempt, okay, you're like bad engineer or whatever. So I think it's important to give people time to adopt those tools and be tolerant to slower at first, but to get much more compound impact in a longer run.
Ivan, it was a great pleasure today to talk to you. Definitely, I love to rewatch my podcast, but this one I definitely will rewatch and know some things for myself. Guy, if you want to make your marketing more efficient with AI, try to find our courses on AI Academy. Don't forget to subscribe, to ask some questions to Ivan, and put like to this video. And I will see you in the next GenAI Revolution podcast. See you.
Thank you.